What is up, heroes? Welcome to Small Time World. I am your host, Small Time Hero. Let's jump into The Boys, Season 5, Episode 5, One Shot. So, before we get into it, I want to explain what a one shot is. So, in comics, a one shot is like, one and done storytelling. Like, the story starts at the beginning of the comic, the story ends at the beginning of the comic. So, you get the full story. I don't know how much it applied. Well, no, it applied in some cases, but like not in the whole episode. So let's jump into it and we'll talk about it, okay? So, the Democratic Church of America has shot an ad, and they call Homelander a prophet in the ad and everything. And honestly, it's just a whole bunch of like more crap coming out of Bot. And so Homelander actually tells Ofather like he does not like it because he's being called a prophet and not the Lord, which Ofather actually tries to explain to him that like it's kind of looked upon as the same thing, just different names. And he doesn't understand that and says it's weird. Firecracker actually shows Homelander the Homelander Bible, which does kind of push back the timeline, which I feel like maybe that was her sneaky way of trying to push this back so somebody can like stop this shit from happening. But yeah, Ofather does mention later on that the Bible could have been done quicker. So it's actually kind of interesting what's going. It's actually kind of makes you question like what's going on, what she's doing, like what's her plan. Sage actually tells them that religious upheaval can cause civil unrest. Firecracker gets a call from a phone number out of Daytona, Florida. We don't see who is calling, but we do know it is from Daytona, Florida, and I think it's been specified that her home state is Daytona, or her home city is Daytona, Florida. So then we start the Firecracker one shot. Reverend Dupree actually comes to talk to Firecracker, and he is basically telling her that their church is having a hardship. They kind of bond about like the times when Firecracker was younger and she would come to the church and she would eat at the church, and how much like the church fed her. Like she says that, she didn't have anything to eat and she would go there. She was able to get food on Fish Fry Fridays and how much she loved it. He also asked her if she still had her Jesus action figure, which I thought was interesting that they called it an action figure because it looks like a statue. But okay. We also find out that praying mantis actually burned the stained glass window with some kind of whatever was coming out of his butt. And that they don't have the money to fix that either. And while Firecracker says that, she wishes she could do something, and we kind of understand that that's the reason why he came to her, because he wants her to talk to somebody about getting this shit together, and the fact that they're losing parishioners to the Democratic Church of America. But, Firecracker is very much so like in the vault machine, so she kind of like says maybe, but we know she not gonna do. So Soldier Boy and Firecracker are once again sleeping together, and Firecracker tells Soldier Boy that this can't happen again, and Soldier Boy tells her that's what you said the last 6 or 7 times or something like that, and she's like, no, I'm serious, this can't happen again. And I'm interested to see like why she keeps sleeping with him if she doesn't want to. Like, does he remind you that much of Homelander that you're just like, I'll take it however I get it? Or like, do you just not? So Firecracker does tell Soldier Boy that she's always believed in Homelander and that she's forever going to be a loyal Homelanding person. And Soldier Boy basically tells her like, listen, I don't know what the fuck you think going on here, but God sure as hell didn't come out of my balls. So if that's the kind of story that we telling, I don't think I can get on top of that, but whatever. Like he kind of understands that this is bullshit, but he's kind of like, just, it seems like he's abiding his time, like to see what all happens. So Firecracker is truly having a crisis of faith, honestly. She gets on her show and she rips her pastor to shreds. I mean, it was brutal. Like, even the things that that they talked about at the lunch counter, she brought up, and then she called him a pedophile, which, that's kind of like a very Republican thing to do, like anything, or that side of the aisle thing to do, like, oh, if we don't like you, you're a pedophile. If you this, and then come to find out in them files, yeah, yeah, mm-hmm. But anyway, so she does kind of go in on him, and like I said, she calls him a pedophile and all kind of things. So really, we kind of see the crisis of faith that a Firecracker is having and the issues that she's facing, which is probably why she's aging that way. So after everything is said and done, I mean, Firecracker kind of destroys any like remaining symbolism of her religion, period. Like it was truly kind of like she just kind of gave up everything that she had believed her whole life. And Firecracker gives you like true, like, I believe in God, I believe in everything that I say, and I think that religion backs me up 100%. So for her to give up everything that she's known to turn to the Democratic Church of America, it's a lot. It's truly a lot. So now we see Black Noir. On the Deep and Black Noir podcast, they are still beefing. It's so funny that when you see them, they're only on this damn podcast. On the podcast, the deep as Black Noir question, and Black Noir hits the fuck you button. Like, Black Noir is in full like, I do not fuck with this dude. I can't stand this dude. And it's so funny because like Deep is like typical like douchebag white boy kind of shit. Like, you objectify the white girl, you pissing off the black dude and like going after him, trying to make him your fucking friend even though you fucked him over. Like, and you're scared of the other white dude. Like, he is like typical, like typical. I mean, Jesus.
Weak baby Jesus and the grown one too.
So a lot of people actually speculated that Black Noir wasn't actually Black Noir, but as we see in this episode, it is the same Black Noir, but he is actually doing what the Deep was saying that he's doing. He's going method. He's just not talking. And I think that's kind of cool because they did spend all last season telling him that the only thing he did was shut the fuck up. So, I mean, it sounded like he listened. So we find out that Black Noir is in a off-Broadway show for the Bee Gees. He is playing Barry Gibbs, who is like the head BG or whatever. And we find out that Adam Burke is actually directing this Broadway play. And we do know Adam from the Homelander ads, the Ryan ads, when Ryan made his assistant slap the shit out of him last season.
Oh, fuck.
Do it again.
Okay.
Again.
Homelander, fuck me.
We also know him from Dawn of the Seven. He's directed a lot of things. I think he even showed up in Gen V also. So like, yeah, we know Adam. So I know this was probably written before Wonder Man, but it does give like heavy Wonder Man vibes, and it could just be because Black Noir is an actor, but it's so meta because like most of the like superheroes and the supes are actors, but like I don't know if any of them have ever gone to like acting training. This is actually like, I don't know, it's like really meta. So maybe the Deep was right on multiple levels. Like, he's just truly going meta. So Black Noir actually goes to Adam about his problems with the Deep. And we find out that Adam actually had issues with the Deep, which is funny because like Adam's supposed to not know that that's the new Black Noir and everything. So for him to be like, no, I had issues with this nigga too, it's actually kind of funny. Like, no, you're just a dick. He's just a fucking dick. And like Adam's issues was that he was trying to improv everything instead of like actually acting what was on the page. So back at Vault Tower with Black Noir, we actually see Black Noir, the Deep, and Ofather are actually having are actually sitting down at the podcast table getting ready to shoot a podcast for the Deep and Noir show. They're getting ready to talk about the Democratic Church of America. But while they are getting ready to, Noir actually starts talking, which throws Ofather the fuck off. He's like, what the fuck, you talk? Which is funny because he's a bastard. Anyway, so you know, he's like, hey, look, I got something we could do. How about Homelander heals my voice and then I fly? Because, you know, I can fly. Like, this is like his fourth or fifth time talking about the fact that he can fly. And we did actually see him fly last season.
Fuck, made me fly.
So he is actually able to fly. But, like, honestly, like, stop bringing that shit up. Like, just stop bringing that shit up, man. But yeah, so he kind of does this, and Ofather is kind of with it. He's like, yeah, that's a great idea. Like, it would be like a modern day miracle. Da da da. And the Deep gets very upset. And Black Noir says that the Deep clam dives on actual clams, and he doesn't mean like just eating them. Which I feel like that's weird, cause like, what's the difference? What a clam pussy? Like, if you out there and you know what a clam pussy at, please tell me what the clown pussy is. Okay? Black Noir actually packs up after everything with Ofather, and he actually goes back to his play rehearsal. We see the Deep follow him, And the Deep follows him into the play rehearsal. He finds out what is going on with Black Noir because he is a sneaky little bitch. And he also finds out that Adam is the person that is, directing the play. And he uses a eel. I think it's a eel. I could be wrong. If you know specifically, if you know what kind of animal this was, please let me know in the comments. Because I thought it was the eel. But like the eel ate his butthole and killed him. He took an eel to the ass. Ass eel. Eel ass. But yeah, so that happened. And it was actually kind of crazy, honestly. But Adam does die. Which is, I don't know. He's gone through so much and not actually died. So it was just kind of like, wow, I didn't think they were going to kill him. I thought we wouldn't even see from him. But yeah, he dies. Black Noir confronts the Deep because he's like, hey, yo, why the fuck would you do that? Because that man ain't had nothing to do with our issues. And the Deep basically says that Black Noir wasn't supposed to be doing the Broadway show. He actually found out that they had got picked up for Broadway. They were actually going to Broadway, but the Deep says that Black Noir wasn't actually supposed to be doing this anyway, and that he basically saved him from Homelander finding out that he was doing it, and he killed bruh because he didn't let him improv any of his lines, which Adam said that he wouldn't because they were bad. So yeah, the Deep kills Black Noir's Broadway director. Like, it's just every fucking like, it's truly just everywhere. I'm just like, okay, wow. I will say that Black Noir allows the Deep to bitch him again, and I hated that. Like, I hated that. Terror. So Terror gets his own one shot, which I was kind of scared because I was like, are they gonna end Terror's like, is it gonna end right here? Like, what's up? Kamiko actually gives Terror her undercooked steak, which she says that she likes her steak well done with ketchup, which, ew, bitch, ew, nasty, 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 nasty. But, no steak shaming over here, you know what I'm saying? And he actually takes Terra's Homelander doll and goes to try and wash it because she's like, it's nasty. And Kamiko basically tells her, like, it's covered in it's covered in dog semen. So we actually see MM and Butcher talk, and where Butcher brings in a basket full of electronics and scrap metal, it looks like. And MM asks him what it's it for, and he basically says it's for him and Frenchie, and he's like, okay, it's not my business, all right, fuck it, whatever. He's very much so, like, kind of understanding a lot. Like, he really kind of, like, just takes stuff in stride these days. Butcher asks MM if they think that Legend would actually know where Bomb Site is, and MM says that Legend is in the wind, he's gone, and if he had as much, like, bullshit on Vi, I would be too. Like, yeah, I'm getting the fuck on too, like Stan Edgar. Cause like, if you got bullshit, they either gonna kill you or they coming for you for whatever they need it for, right? MM actually kind of broke my heart in this moment where he talks about how he's actually getting the best sleep of his life and he's eating the best he is because like he's kind of giving up. Well, his OCD has gone away because he's kind of giving up on living. He does say that if he felt like there was a shred of a chance that he would ever be with his daughter and his wife again, that he would give up and he would be terrified, too fucking terrified to do what Butcher needed him to do. And I feel like that is crazy. Like, he's given up, and we saw this in the beginning of the season. Like I said that in the beginning of the season that he had given up, but honestly, it's so bad seeing it now. Like, a man that has given up on his purpose is sad, honestly. But yeah, he's given up on seeing Janine and everything. So I don't know. It was a lot for me. So Tara actually goes into the kitchen and we see Frenchie cooking, talking about that undercooked steak he made for Kamiko, which is kind of funny because it's like he heard her say what she wants. He just giving her whatever he feels like she needs, and it's just like, no, you cook her steak the way she wants it. That's how she wants it. So Frenchie is cooking his chocolate souffle and also contemplating a life with Kamiko, and if he can give her everything that she needs from him. And he's kind of coming to the same conclusion that everybody else did, and even was said last episode that like they probably won't last. But like, my whole thing is, you can have differences and want different things, but if you can find some common ground, I feel like you can make it work, right? So Huey and Butcher actually argue about what to do with the V1 because last episode Butcher, well, MM actually let it slip that they had planned to burn the V1, which is the same thing that Soldier Boy had planned to do with it. Huey is arguing that they should actually use some to make sure that Kamiko and Annie are fine. I don't know, that humanity is great, but Butcher does say that, like, leaving a little bit is still too dangerous, and I kind of feel both sides. Like, I feel like there should not be, because there's a chance that Homelander could be immortal. So that's why, like, a big reason as to why we should not, like, if we find it, we should burn it. But at the same time, I understand keeping Annie and Kamiko alive. And, Butcher not really worried about himself, but I understand, like, Huey, like, no, I want to keep them alive. So they continue that argument until Tara actually gets into the trash can where Frenchie threw away that damn chocolate souffle. And if you know, dogs are allergic to chocolate. They are allergic and it can kill them. Which Butcher does say that basically, like, a dog that chocolate will kill him. And the thing of it is that, like, this is the second time that this is the second time they've actually had to take chocolate away from Tara, because even when MM and Butcher were talking about, going through the process of not being able to be with Janine and his daughter, he drops a chocolate bar. And because that was the whole reason why Butcher asked him, like, how was he living, because he had OCD, and, like, had that happened before, he wouldn't have even touched it. But Tara was like, oh shit, a candy bar. And I will say this, I have a small dog. I don't have a bulldog, I have a Yorkie, and he tries to eat chocolate all the time. And it was to the point where, like, when my daughter was younger, like when she was like 3 or 4, no, when she was like 2 or 3, I thought she was gonna kill the dog, because he would jump up and take stuff from her, and she would always have fucking chocolate, man. So, like, chocolate is definitely deadly for a dog. But Butcher actually tells Huey to go get the peroxide after they pull Terror out of the trash can, and Huey goes and gets the peroxide while MM is like, give him charcoal, Where's the fucking charcoal, MM? Where is it? Like, you keep just saying give him charcoal. Where are we supposed to get charcoal? Like, who just has charcoal on hand? But anyway, Huey goes to get the peroxide, and they pour it down Tara's throat, and it causes Tara to throw up, which is a good thing because he was able to get all the chocolate out, and it just looks so fucking nasty when he throws it up, and there's chocolate all over his face and shit. But he does actually go to sleep, and we see Tara having another dream of Homelander, actually. And it's so funny because, like, I really want to know how they got Anthony started. Like, you want to fuck me? I'm sorry. I don't want to, because I don't want nobody to clip this up and be like, oh, that bitch. But, like, Homelander's like, it's so fucking funny, man. I'm like, and then he has this turkey leg. This was probably my favorite part of the episode, honestly. Like, Tara's whole point of view was hilarious. But Huey actually goes to check on Butcher and Terror, and Huey goes to check on Butcher and Terror, and Butcher actually feels a bit thankful for Huey being there and, helping Terror, and he does thank him and says that they can make an antidote for Kamiko and Annie. He also does not include himself in that, so he is really planning to die, which is, I don't know. Butcher is such a son of a bitch that, like, you don't care, but at the same time, it's like, you just gonna kill yourself. Okay. I mean, I don't know. Suicide's always. I gotta put some trigger warnings in this shit. I gotta put some trigger warnings in this episode, man. I don't want nobody getting triggered. So, with Sister Sage, Sage and Soldier Boy really get on the elevator together, and it's almost masterful the way Sister Sage moves and the way she's able to extract information and also plant insecurities at the same time. Like, she truly is, like, brilliant, and the people that are writing her are really good at, like, writing her. It's awesome, but also fuck that bitch. Like, it's kind of like the Candace Owens Erica Kirk thing. Like, you don't want, like, Candace Owens is a token and she getting spent right now, but at the same time, you don't want to hear nobody get online talking about some she's a black ass bitch. Like, alright. But at the same time, it'd be like, tokens get spent, girl. Tokens get spent. Ashley and Sage have a conversation about Vault's stop. They're not making any profits, and in a while, they're going to go under. And Sage is just kind of like, I don't care. That's what Homelander wants. And whatever Homelander wants, Homelander gets. And you kind of get this nihilistic kind of feel from her. Like, it's almost like, oh, Okay, so you know he fucking up the world. You just let him do it. Okay. And Sage actually says something that's actually funny. She says it's always what the man wants. And I think that kind of let us know that we were going to actually get some more details as to what happened with Sage's grandma. Because she clearly has, like, issues with, like, humans and men and the man and other stuff. So, I don't know. It's so complicated. Like, I'm not really sure where she stands. So Sage tries to get Ashley to drink, and Ashley kind of peeps game, so she won't drink. And Sage is like, "Fuck it, she not gonna drink, so I'm just gonna go straight to the source." So she starts talking to Bashley, and we find out that Bashley has actually been reading other people's minds, or actually reading Homelander's minds. Sage asks Bashley what she knows and what he's, doing. And also Sage asks Bashley if she'll continue and tell her what's going on. And Bashley says okay, but Ashley says fuck no. And I just think it's so funny to watch the actress and like the character Ashley sit there turning circles like a fucking dog chasing his own tail, cussing itself out. Like, it was just so funny because it was just like that's literally what this show is. Like, y'all just chasing yourselves around in a fucking circle. But it's so funny. What kind of stuck out to me was the last time when Ashley and Sage talked. Sage told Ashley not to stop trying to read her mind because it would blow her fucking the back of her skull out. But was she actually talking to Bashley? Because like this whole time when she was talking, like she very rarely spoke directly to Ashley. A lot of the conversation was for Bashley. So Sage does offer for her and Ashley to get drunk again, and Ashley does oblige Sage this time. And Ashley actually starts talking about how strong her mother was, how much her mother didn't take any shit, and she says that she wanted to be like her mom. And then Sage goes, well, you still can. And then Ashley says that her mother passed. And of course, Sage already knows this, but she asks how. And Ashley says that her mother passed from cancer. Sage tells Ashley that her grandmother passed from cancer and that she could have saved her, but the men who were involved wouldn't allow her. And that her grandmother was the only person who actually took her power serious. She tries to get Ashley to come in, and Ashley's like, I can't trust you. I don't even know what your plan is. And I know you have a plan because you're walking around here like you have a plan. And Sage basically tells her that her plan is to watch the world burn from her bunker in Colorado Springs, which I feel like is a Paradise reference. But that was her plan, just to watch it all burn, watch soups kill humans, humans kill soups, and to stay safe and read. And once it's all done, she can read quietly and be happy. And Homelander has to die because he would bug the fuck out of her. That shit seems very, very bullshit. Like, I do not like this reasoning at all. I feel like if she wanted to fucking read, she could have stayed in that goddamn apartment she had in Detroit and read all them goddamn books in there. Why did she even have to join up with Homelander to do any of this shit? Like, it just, I don't like the reasoning. I did not like this. I'm sorry. So we are back at Vault Tower, and we are starting the one shot from Soldier Boy's perspective. Soldier Boy actually asks Homelander what's wrong, and he says that when he's upset, he's just really pissy and makes everybody else's life a fucking hell. So it has to be something wrong with him. Homelander actually says that Soldier Boy says that Stan is still stonewalling Homelander. And Homelander says he can't get him to talk. Soldier Boy asks Homelander, can he actually get a crack at him? They both go to see Stan Edgar. And when they go to see Stan Edgar, of course, Stan and Homelander actually have their back and forth tete-a-tete. And Soldier Boy just like, after, Stan breaks Soldier Boy down too, Soldier Boy is just like, Tempe, Arizona. And Stan's like, what? And he's like, Tempe, Arizona. That's where Zoe and Samir are. That changes Stan's stance on that shit almost immediately. He's like, alright, what you want to know? He's like, I don't necessarily know where the Vault 1 is, but I might know somebody who has a proclivity for old Vault shit, and they might know where it's at. So he gives them Mr. Marathon, and he also says that it should be interesting reunion. Supernatural. But it should carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Okay, all right. But anyway, so there's going to be a reunion. He says it to Homelander because, of course, Homelander kicked Mr. Marathon off of the 7 for A-Train. But at the same time, we are also getting a Dean and Sam reunion from Soldier Boy and Mr. Marathon. And yeah, Carry On My Wayward Sons. And let me just say, somebody said, like, they was like when Eric Kripke tries to end the show at 5 seasons and then he go for 13. Listen, we gonna end this shit this season. We are not doing the Supernatural shit. I was so irritated with Supernatural still coming on. Like, why? Okay, anyway. Stan does tell them where to find Mr. Marathon, and apparently Mr. Marathon is in LA, so we are going to LA. They actually, so Soldier Boy and Homelander make it to Mr. Marathon's house, and Mr. Marathon tells them, so we actually see Mr. Marathon, and we find out that Mr. Marathon actually did a lot of bought offshoot movies where it's like the Sony VCU, the Sony bought cinematic universe, and Mr. Marathon has like participated in a lot of those. But it's kind of like how like Marvel has the Marvel MCU, and then of course Sony has contributed to the Spider-Man portion of the MCU. But in response, they've also made a bunch of Spider-Man movies with Spider-Man villains and no Spider-Man. So yes, Sony definitely has done that, and in the and in the boys apparently Sony's doing the same thing. Yes, and Homelander straight shits on it. He's just like, it's not bought, so it doesn't. And like I was saying earlier, you can kind of tell that Homelander definitely feels like he's better than a lot of the other supes. And with him and Mr. Marathon, you definitely get that feeling. He wasn't a 7 until Homelander kicked him off the 7. And Homelander says you're only the fastest man until, like, you're only the fastest when you're the fastest. And when you're not, you got to move over. And honestly, that's kind of true. But I mean, if you believe in the Flash, then you feel like Barry, Wally, and Bart all tap into the Speed Force, and they all just as fast. So Mr. Marathon actually takes Soldier Boy and Homelander to meet Seth Rogen, Kamal Nujani, Mal Chemical, who is also played by Castiel from Supernatural. There'll be peace when you. And they all like are having conversations about what they should do in order to stand up to Homelander's regime. So Homelander actually asked Mr. Marathon what he knows about V1 and if he knows who has some and where they can. Mr. Marathon tells Homelander that Bombsight has V1 and that he told him he has V1 one time, and he totally believes him. Mr. Marathon takes Homelander and Soldier Boy into his like trophy case room or whatever, and we see that he has a picture of Stormfront in there. Soldier Boy kind of rubbed the picture in like this like sentimental way, which I feel like is like, I don't know. I just feel like we shouldn't do this. Like, if he's a dickhead, let him be a dickhead. Don't give him no human emotions. Like, I don't care that he missed her. She was a fucking Nazi and she needed to die. So like him reminisce, like I don't give a fuck. Fuck you in that bitch. So Sam and Dean, Mr. Marathon and Soldier Boy, they actually do coke on the table. Mal Chemical come up to reintroduce himself to Homelander, and he does say that he's met Homelander a few times, so it's actually kind of fucked up that Homelander doesn't remember him. But of course, the Marathon and Soldier Boy are actually talking as they do coke. And Mr. Marathon is kind of dogging the shit out of Homelander, which is really funny because it's almost like Sam is dogging Dean's new partner. It's a lot of supernatural shit. A lot of supernatural shit. Mr. Marathon says that Homelander beats off into his cape, and Homelander, of course, heard Mr. Marathon because he has supernatural hearing. He has super hearing. And when he hears him say that, Mal Chemical actually gets up once Homelander kind of confronts Mr. Marathon, and Soldier Boy tells Homelander to take a fucking joke. And of course, we know Homelander can't because he takes himself way too fucking serious. But in the same breath, Mal Chemical gets up and Mal Chemical blows whatever the fuck kind of gaseous whatever power he has into Homelander's face, and it actually makes Homelander pass out. When Homelander does pass out, Soldier Boy kind of gets up in arms, like he's like, hold on, wait a minute. And Mr. Marathon, he lets Mr. Marathon kind of get off his words, and Mr. Marathon is like, man, fuck this guy. They're rounding up the strippers, they're rounding up the hookers, everybody, we can't do shit. It's like a police state, man, fuck this guy. And also they're getting rid of abortions, which kind of resonates with Soldier Boy. And he's like, if abortions go, then I would be really sad, but that's my asexual weirdo. And he cracks Mal Chemical's neck. So that's when the bullshit starts. So he cracks Mal Chemical's neck, and of course Mr. Marathon tries to run at him, And when Mr. Marathon tries to run at him, Will Forte. And after Will Forte is actually ran through, the next person to go down is Craig Robinson down next. And we didn't even know he was there because he was upstairs using the bathroom, which Soldier Boy gets Kamal and Chris Mintz at the same time by like throwing them basically at Mr. Marathon. Soldier Boy throws Seth Rogen at him, but Mr. Marathon does not kill Seth Rogen in that moment. He only split him in half and his guts are hanging out. But then he goes over and cracks his neck. Like, I was just like, why? Mr. Marathon kills him. So Soldier Boy goes into Mr. Marathon's trophy room where he pulls a This Christmas on him, and it's funny because Laz Alonso was in that scene in This Christmas.
If I get up off this floor,
Come on, let me see you get off.
And he puts all the baby oil that was in Mr. Marathon's room, which is like, why? But he puts it all over the floor, and of course it trips up Mr. Marathon. And when Mr. Marathon runs into like the trophy case or whatever, Soldier Boy breaks both of his legs, like his ankles. He breaks his fucking ankles. And he asks where the V1 is. They say that Bonsai, he says that Bonsai definitely has it, but of course he hasn't seen Bonsai in a while, and they were just stalling in order to take Soldier. When Homelander wakes up, he actually asks Soldier Boy what happened, and Soldier Boy tells him that he had been sleeping with Firecracker, but that's over now because he finally has respect for him. So back at Vault Tower, we actually see Firecracker come into her room after she throws away her Jesus action figure, and Homelander is in her room, and he is sitting on her couch, and he tells her that he knows that she has been sleeping with his father, and he says this weird were you thinking of him while you were sleeping with me line, which is weird already, but at the same time it also shows that he's also in weird competition with his dad. And he says that he doesn't care about the sex. What he actually cares about is their conversations after the sex and her crisis of faith, basically, like how she still doesn't know how to feel about the Homelander thing. And Homelander basically says that if she doesn't believe in him, she has to go. And so he basically tells her to leave and leave Vault Tower. And she's like pleading with him to stay. And she's like, I believe in you. I've always loved you. I'm probably the only person that loves you. Everybody else fears you, which is the issue because it brings in that insecurity for Homelander because he already feels like everybody is scared of him and nobody actually likes him, which he cares about. Like, why do you care that people don't like you, but you also murder people? That shit is backwards, ass backwards. But yeah, she pleads and she gives him this spiel about just being a little bit in his light, and that's why she slept with Soldier Boy, which I feel like is crazy because, like, you don't really have to have a reason to sleep with somebody you like or are attracted to because he did not want you. He made that very clear. He did not want you. So after all of this pleading and everything, you know, she's trying to say the right things, but it's just not going well. And so Homelander actually touches the side of her head, and he kind of holds the side of her head and caresses it a little, and then he takes her head and smashes it into the eagle that is like next to them, and that is where the episode ends. So if you guys stay for the whole episode, or stay for the whole video, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and leave me a comment. And make sure you let me know what you guys may want to see next, because The Boys is definitely coming to an end. So I'll holla at you, heroes. Bye.